Hey everyone, this is Laura Godenik with Laura Godenik Astrology, and I'm here to give you the astrology for the week of July 5th through the 11th, 2021. Starting today, Monday the 5th, we have the Sun making a sextile to Uranus in Taurus. This isn't a huge aspect, and you might only feel it subtly given all the other really intense astrology that's been going on. But this might be kind of a subtle desire or need for change or innovation or maybe upgrading something. Uranus is the planet of freedom, innovation, disruption, upheaval, progression. And so that energy is coming more into our conscious awareness today. And you just might feel a pull to embody those qualities or archetypes in your life today. Tuesday the 6th, we have Mercury in Gemini making the third and final square to Neptune in Pisces. So the first exact square was on May 23rd. The second one, when Mercury was retrograde, was June 6th. But really, we would have felt this energy really strongly between May 18th through June 11th. Now, Mercury is the planet of our mind, of communication, of our thoughts, our mentality, how we exchange ideas and information, and goods and services as well. And it's the planet of how we make plans and kind of what we think of where we're going, right? So you might have felt a little confused around that time frame, May 18th to June 11th. Confusion around where you're headed, or maybe a plan that you're making or thinking about making, maybe a decision. Neptune is a planet of dreams, of vision, of that which we long for. It can be a very glamorous planet that really inspires us, but that might feel kind of intangible or inaccessible. And because of the nature of the square, Neptune can also induce a feeling of disappointment from the longing that maybe you're feeling about something. So that might have been really strong between that time frame that I mentioned. And so this third and final square could bring up those feelings again, those emotions of desiring something that's just not present in your reality, or being disappointed that something didn't turn out the way that you wanted it. And so it could be that, but it also could be clarity finally emerging from that story, clarity regarding a decision that needs to be made, regarding ideas that you had or plans that you were thinking about making or that you've made, maybe a change of mindset as well. Be sure to take care of your mental health today and tomorrow and the next day. Mercury square Neptune can be a pretty sad transit, and just make space to experience grief in your life, the sadness from maybe longing for something that hasn't come to pass or that isn't in your life right now, and also thinking about maybe ways that you need to make changes so that those feelings of longing can be more a part of your immediate reality. And that could be very much so tied into the Mars opposite Saturn square Uranus transit that we had this past week. So there's also the classic Mercury stuff like miscommunication, disillusionment, like I said, disappointment with certain ideas, mindsets, kind of visions or plans, and needing to course correct. The miscommunications all of a sudden could become clear. Maybe you missed an email, or and it shows up in your inbox or something. Or you finally touch base with someone that's been evasive or hard to get a hold of, and things are suddenly becoming or coming together so you can understand things better. So yeah, just spend some time. I would say maybe journaling, being a bit more reflective about these desires and yearnings that are sad and maybe disappointing, and thinking about or brainstorming ways to incorporate those into your life. On the same day, Tuesday the 6th, we have Venus and Leo opposing Saturn in Aquarius. Venus is the planet of love, romance, relationships, connection, all things pleasurable, fun, juicy, luxurious, yummy, all of those things that bring sweetness and joy to life. And Saturn is a planet that often negates or says no, or puts up a boundary or a limitation or gives us a challenge. So there could be a sense of no's that you're feeling, or that someone actually says to you, no's to relationships, or, maybe if you ask someone on a date, they say no, there could be a sense of being told no to having fun or pleasure, whether that no is coming from another person, a responsibility outside of yourself, or from an inner critic that you may have, or even just a desire to hone your skills or an art, a craft that you have, instead of, just going out and having fun. So a good way to work with the energy, speaking of art, because Venus does represent art and expressiveness as well, is doing something disciplined instead, and honing a skill, perfecting an art that you have, and doing it in a disciplined way. Saturn wants to perfect and make things exact. So work with that energy instead of against it. So, Tuesday the 6th it's kind of a hard day. It's pretty harsh. There's Mercury square Neptune, that kind of sad, yearning, longing feeling, and that not being a part of your reality maybe. It could be a bad mental health day. And then we have Venus opposing Saturn, which is like, no to pleasure and love. You must work and you must be alone. So honor those energies, really be alone, maybe don't spend time with a lot of loved ones or with a romantic partner. Take time away, take space, work on your own craft or art, and do some journaling and reflective listening to your thoughts and to your yearnings and desires as well. Thursday the 8th, Venus makes a square to Uranus. So remember, Mars just made this aspect last week. And so any planet that comes through Leo is going to activate the same Saturn-Uranus square. So this is definitely going to be tied into the Venus opposite Saturn. So there could be a sense of surprises or disruptions in love or relationships or connections. Maybe a surprising, unexpected conversation comes up between you and a loved one. And hopefully this leads to innovation and more spaciousness in a relationship, and more of an ability to be your authentic self, because that is always Uranus's goal. There, it could be conflictual. This is a square. Squares are of the nature of Mars. So whatever change is coming in relationships could bring up some conflict. This kind of goes in line with like what I was saying with Venus opposing Saturn, of needing to maybe take some alone time and space. Saturn is a planet of isolation and going at things alone. Uranus needs a lot of freedom and independence. So freedom and love, that's a huge theme. And maybe there's a conversation that's had around that theme, or perhaps once again, you take some space from your loved one and think about what you truly want in a relationship. If it's not a relationship for you, and it's something more like fun, pleasurable, artistic, maybe something that you're working on takes an unexpected turn, hopefully for the better, but don't be surprised if something, I don't want to say messes up or goes haywire, but it's definitely possible, so keep that in mind. On Saturday, the 10th, the moon heads into Leo, activating once again this whole Saturn-Uranus square, which has been activated by Venus and Mars. And so there might be a sense of reactivity to whatever transpires this week. However, resolution is on the way, regarding relationships. July 13th, Venus and Mars conjoin, which suggests that whatever conflict has been stirred up is going to resolve or come together, right? A conjunction between two planets is them coming together. And, Venus, the planet of unity, and Mars, the planet of separation, it's like coming together. So, and I forgot to mention, I think the Venus opposite Saturn square Uranus aspect this week has a lot to do with speaking to boundaries in relationships. And sometimes boundaries can feel like you're being told no, but really boundaries work to help serve everyone in the relationship so that it can work better, right? So this is about improving relationships through recognizing space that you might need and recognizing boundaries that you're becoming maybe aware of this week, and innovating or upgrading your relationship because of that, right? So I think ultimately this is going to be good for everyone. And if you're single and you're not in a long-term relationship, once again, like I said, it could be this Venus opposite Saturn square Uranus thing could be being told no, feeling a little bit rejected, or something going a bit haywire or differently than you expected. And also, Venus is the planet of our values. So it could be a good time to contemplate what your values are, thinking about them, taking space, reflecting on them, and then kind of radicalizing them, right? Or really brainstorming about how you can make your values more a part of your life, or how you can meet those needs that you have, possibly in relationship with others. So yeah, Saturday, when the moon heads into Leo, there could be that reactivity, but once again, resolution is on the way, and where things will work out. At least is my what I'm kind of seeing in the astrology for the week. Sunday the 11th, Mercury heads into Cancer, a sign about feelings, emotions, the gut, our instincts. Mercury being our thoughts, our mind, our mindset, is all of a sudden very personal and subjective. Communications with others might turn to be a bit more emotional or have an emotional perspective, and which I think is a good thing. Sometimes Mercury, especially in the sign of Gemini, which it's been for the past several weeks, can be overly logical and overly connected to the head rather than to the gut. Cancer is a sign ruling over the stomach and the gut, which hence instincts, right? And so communicating from a place of from your body, like from your gut, from your personal desires and needs, right? Cancer is a sign about our needs. Are your needs getting met? And so being able to talk about that and communicate that, that's going to be part of Mercury's journey through Cancer, which could be really helpful in all of these relationship talks, and could also pose some challenges as well without being able to see the other person's perspective. So just keeping that in mind. But if you are curious about how this is showing up in your chart, I'm definitely open for consultations. Just DM me or email me or reach out in whatever way you would like. And otherwise, I will be back next week with another astrological update, and I hope that you have a wonderful week. Okay.